We've got a lot of countries, parts of the world, led by Europe, with GDPR really honing in on data privacy. How does this gel with the sort of thing that you and some of the other blockchain people are doing?
So for us, it's GDPR is a big thing. So what we talk about is the concept of data as a currency. And by that, what we mean is just because you use Twitter, we're tweeting here, Facebook, Instagram, you think it's free, but we're actually paying for it with our data. Now, I know if I use a product, there should be a cost, but I do have a problem when those companies, those centralized companies, are either not storing that data properly, securely, they're monetizing it without me knowing or getting anything kickback, or fundamentally they could be even manipulating that data. So what we're saying is data as consumers, we should start looking at data as a currency, much as we manage regular currency. These big companies like Facebook, Twitter, Google, they should almost conduct themselves like banks. So if I bought something from a shopping store and that store got robbed, that money's gone. I still got that service, fine, the money passed to them and it's gone somewhere. But when Cathay Pacific gets breached into and they report to me that, hey, your personal information is gone, well, there's no repercussions. Somebody's misusing that out there. So these companies, people need to start being more aware of managing their data as a currency, holding people accountable. So what decentralized networks like ours, a database, does is it stores the data in a much more secure manner. If somebody tries to break in, it's using decentralized network, they really can't. Even if they did, what we do is a concept called sharding. So what that means is, an easy way to explain it is, let's just say you had an email list. We took that email list, replicated it on a bunch of plates 1,000 times, broke all those plates, and each little piece was spread out on a bunch of nodes around the world. So even if somebody got into one, all they got was like a little piece of a puzzle. They can't take over the whole network. So going into that, our goal is that you can build services on top of that, such as like a data wallet, which gives you control, the user, and consumer, and saying, yeah, I give Twitter or whoever access to this information. If they're reselling it, there's a way for you to get compensated. Or if they're selling to a company that you don't like, you can turn off that authorization. So it's really about giving that consumer and businesses individual control over it.
I mean, that's obviously from a consumer point of view a great thing, but how do you make that mesh with, are we going to come to a stage where Facebook or Twitter will say, yes, here's a cent for every 100 pieces of data or everything that I can share with people? I completely see how you want the Cathay breach, but how do you start taking charge, taking back control of your data and selling it and getting, because you need to get people on board, right?
An easy way is like you said, GDPR, the European companies have reached out to us, consumer-facing ones. And what they've said is, we're collecting this data, and they might be sharing that information with their partners or selling it. Now the partners are coming back to them saying, did Louise actually give you authorization to that data? And how do I know you didn't manipulate that? So by using somebody like our database with this consensus algorithm that guarantee that you gave authorization, we have proof of that on, basically on the blockchain. No one could change that data except you or, let's say, the consumer company who's collecting that data. So that guarantees that. So the companies are there, the partners are saying, okay, good, now we can trust that, use that. And if there's some monetization, that's up to the, let's say if it was a wearable company, that's up to them to either share it with you, or maybe they give you incentives or rebates or discounts. But it's basically creating a new data ecosystem that's completely trustworthy, and then all the parties can know that all the right check boxes have been checked.